Hey there, Coast Life. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes.
We made it to a new week, and we're so happy you joined us. We are your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and this is our first Monday with our new set decor.
You guys like it?
Love it.
You remember this? You saw it briefly on Friday, but it's back.
Yes.
And it's sticking around.
It is sticking around
for a bit.
until the changing of the season.
That's right.
So until then, we're
Happy
enjoying
fall. Yeah, exactly. And I hope you had a good weekend, a good first weekend of October. Or I guess half a weekend because it was on Sunday, but crazy weekend, huh?
Crazy weekend indeed. We had the Shore Living Expo. Thank you to everybody who came out to stop by, say hi. This is my problem. I always bring my purse to work with me, and that's how I end up spending a lot of money. But there's a lot of good stuff to spend money on in the Shore Living Expo, like the falling nuts for pumpkin coffee from Coffee Rendezvous.
You know, I saw that, and I was so mad I wasn't at the Shore Living Expo. I know.
Should have bought more.
That's
I
okay.
only got one bag, and I was a fool.
I was a fool.
A fool.
That is the one shopping addiction I will applaud, and I will encourage you to keep up with, is anything from Coffee Rendezvous.
Yeah, so it's all
good.
amazing. And maybe what else was amazing? You caught some of the football game on Sunday. I know we were big on Eagles Commanders.
We were.
But was anyone's game.
That was a good game. And I don't know, I honestly can't remember if I said this on camera with you guys or just alone with Leah.
It might have been,
It might have been just with you. But I'm like, because the Eagles, they talk their game all the time. Whatever.
Philly.
But I was like, look, the chances are you guys are going to beat us. But I just hope it's a close game and a good game. And that's what we got.
Ooh.
We made you sweat a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you did. I was stressing.
I think we got a little respect. So overall, I think we're all a bit happy coming into this Monday.
It was good.
Yeah, unless you're maybe a Jets fan. Sorry.
That's rough. Life is rough for a Jets fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry, though, because you know who's probably going to be the biggest Chiefs fan from all time now? This girl. As long as Taylor Swift is there.
I know. Well, it was funny because, man, people are heated about whether or not her presence in the NFL is too much. I mean, I saw even the Coast TV News poll that they were doing about Taylor Swift. Are they covering her too much? Not enough.
So funny.
And people had a lot to say about it.
Yeah, you guys were kind of aggressive.
I want to say immature.
Like assertive, borderline aggressive. If you go to Coast TV's Facebook page, you'll see we asked, hey, is Taylor Swift's coverage too much? And there were opinions.
Hilarious.
Which we love. That's what we want.
Yeah. I feel like it's the aftermath coverage that's a little bit too much, because I think that's where during the course of the game they show maybe 3-4 shots of the crowd. Especially there's always famous people in the crowd, and they're always like, hey, look, Bradley Cooper's at the Eagles game. Like that happens all the time.
Right.
And he usually makes it in there.
Right. I think the first time it's good, it's fun. After that it's kind of like, I understand because you have your entertainment news people. And then you have your sports people. And just like I don't want to see highlights in my entertainment news, I can understand they don't want to see a lot of coverage in their sports news. I think it was Patrick Mahomes got interviewed after the game about Taylor, and he was like, hey, look, I'm only going to answer questions about football. That's my job.
Fair.
I'm not dating Taylor Swift. So I think it's fair. I think
from Pat, that is a fair response.
It is. I think we're bordering it too much, but if it's really riling you up, take a chill pill. Right. Maybe. Just a little one. We're all there with you. It's fun, but it's fun. It's light. This is not terrible news.
Yeah. Speaking of not terrible news and keeping things kind of fun and light, we were talking a little bit off the air about this, and I think I always love music stories.
Yes.
Given my radio background, radio experience, I've always been a music lover. I mean, eat, breathe, and do everything music related. And I noticed actually sort of recently that there really has been a shift in how music is made lately. And it seems like sort of more people are picking up on the fact that hardly anything is over 3 minutes.
Yeah, you can't anymore. I would guess 2.5 is the average. I don't know if that's right.
Right.
But that's what it seems.
You might be able to grab that snack, but you got to sprint back.
And it's kind of a bummer because I'll hear a new song I love and I'm like, I wish this was longer. And you have to play it on repeat.
Yeah, and they say that obviously TikTok a really big factor in that. I mean, I think especially the fact that now you can make a 10-minute video, but I don't think anybody ever does. Because I think 3 minutes is right at the peak of what you have the tolerance for.
Our attention spans.
Only for a song.
Yeah, I do think TikTok has changed the industry, and I think it's for the better for a lot of artists, but I also think there are cons to it, like anything. It's kind of upsetting. I'm going to use Jack Harlow for a reference. His song, First Class? Yep. Is that what it's called, right? So, I mean, think of the hype around it, right? It had a good 15 seconds that was catchy and fun, but the rest of the song wasn't it. But it hit the top of the charts, even though it wasn't the best song at the time.
Well, especially the catchy 15-second part is the sample from Fergie's Glamorous.
Exactly.
So it's like we've already, if you're old enough.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I've already heard this part. Like, I know this song. And that's why I think it did so well. But I think what's really interesting, especially talking, different generations and how we've consumed music over the years, that like classic rock fans have had this, especially if you grew up with what's now classic rock, very physical relationship with their music. I mean, when you buy vinyl, you're buying album art, you're buying the lyric jackets, you're buying, even now the vinyl itself is usually art. I mean, I know Taylor Swift releases a lot of her vinyl on different colors. So like her Midnight's album was released in 4 or 5 different colors, and like the backs, depending on which ones you bought, they had a clock that struck midnight.
Love
so
that.
Like artists can get so creative with the visual element. So like there really is this physical aspect to buying vinyl and even CDs. Like when we were little, I mean, having a big CD collection, you were like, I have something to show off, and my devotion to music.
Exactly. I do think it's hitting the pop culture world. Again, I just don't love it because I don't think it's a real representation of what is good music right now. I think it's what's trending on TikTok.
I think that's fair.
And so, I don't know, tell me if you agree with us or not. That's just my take on it.
Another thing we wanted to kind of talk about before we get into the show today.
I love this
one. This one got us talking too. More millennials seem to be signing, and Gen Z, but mostly millennials, signing prenups before they get married.
I love this because we always have these stories and these headlines, and who knows what's true and whatever, but of like, millennials and Gen Z can't afford anything. So it's like, who of you are so rich that you're signing prenups? Like,
right?
Because normally, isn't that what it is? It's like you're both really rich or one of you is really rich.
I think so. That's usually the reason to sign one, is that like it's sort of in case the marriage is for money.
Right. But it's like, aren't we all kind of just making it by? Right. That why are we so upset on prenups? I don't know. I don't have an opinion. No one cares about my opinion. I'm not married. I'm gonna say don't sign the prenup. Don't put so much pressure on the prenup. But this is like a case by case.
I think that's really what it boils down to. It is more of a case by case. And I think if maybe like I could still see people getting very, again, easily influenced on TikTok, where you've got all these people that are like, oh, if he wanted to, he would. Or they're like, sign that prenup, girl.
Right.
Like, I think there's some influence that way where they're like, oh, they're the court of public opinion might be trying to scare you out of commitment without a prenup. But I think it is, again, it's just it's such a case-by-case basis that maybe if you are somebody that's grown up very wealthy, you may very well truly never believe that somebody loves you for you, and that there's always a money attachment, in which case I could see there being a real desire to have a partner sign that prenup. So like, I get it, but I don't think it should be a trend.
Yeah. And riddle me this. Are we seeing more people encourage the woman, like if she's rich, they're like, get him to sign a prenup, or if he's rich, they're like, sign that prenup, girl. But I feel like when it's the man and he's like, hey, I'm rich, you're not, can you sign this prenup? They're like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more of that on social media. I don't know if it's in real life. It's just the social media aspect of it. But I think there's this much of a double standard.
I mean, I think you're right on a double standard. I mean, I think we still see a lot of double standards, especially when it comes to like marriage in the modern age. And because I mean, really, marriage itself, a lot of the things that we consider traditional or ceremonial about marriage are old school of thought. And when you really look into the roots of them, you're like, maybe that doesn't quite fit into what the modern world is. But I think we're sort of getting that mixed messages.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Don't listen to us though. Like, what do we? If I'm like, don't sign the prenup. Like, Paige told me not to.
We're not experts on any of this.
We are not married. We don't know.
We are experts on COASTLIFE, though. We do have a great show coming your way. You may notice a couple of wardrobe changes. We were very busy last week on COASTLIFE. We were. Today's show ready for you. But we've got some great guests to talk to. We're talking to a local author's daughter who's carrying on his legacy with Elizabeth Carter.
Also, last week on another outfit change, we talked to our friends at Preston. They have a really important and meaningful event coming up, so we're going to tell you all about that.
And usually when we are spilling the tea in studio, it's all thanks to our friends at Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. This time we are checking out the store in Rehoboth. All that and more is coming your way when COASTLIFE gets back.
COASTLIFE is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
All right, everybody. So today we actually had a plan to interview an author who is known as Peter E. Carter. Unfortunately, though, the community is grieving because he recently passed away.
Yeah, I know.
Very sad news, but we are so honored today because we actually have his daughter here with us.
Yes.
We have Dr. Elizabeth Carter here on the Coast Life Couch. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I really
course.
appreciate it, and Dad truly appreciates it
Of
also.
course.
Yes.
Well, we're so sorry for your loss, but we think it's incredible. You're keeping his memory alive.
Yes, it's been phenomenal. It's so interesting that you learn more about a person in death than you did in life, and just the outpouring of people that he touched over his 79 years on his life. People still calling. I have his cell phone, and people still don't know, so they're calling to say hi. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry to tell you he passed away in May. But it's just been a great journey. His life was phenomenal. He lived it to the fullest, and I'm so proud to continue his legacy with the name and everything that he worked for. I'm continuing to do in his absence.
That's great. Well, I'm sure he's very proud of you. He's looking down, very proud of you. So first, we're going to talk just about who your dad was, if that's okay. He was, of course, an author, but so much more than that. What do you want people to know about him?
He was an educator. It's interesting, in his first book, I learned more about him in his books than I ever learned when he never told any real stories about his life, but he was an educator. He loved children, and his mother was kind of upset when he said he wanted to be a teacher because she wanted him to be a doctor, because coming from Trinidad in the Caribbean, that's kind of the American dream. Come to America, become a doctor or a lawyer, and when he told her he didn't want to be a doctor, he wanted to be a teacher, she said, ugh. But that was his passion, and he was so good at it. He taught in New Jersey, moved his way up from a teacher to an administrator to running school districts, reviving school districts, and he loved to be able to lend his lens of intellect and passion and love of children to break through tons of barriers of racism. Quite often he was the only or the first, similar to his book, a first in many venues as an African-American male in educational settings at the leadership level, where he was calling the shots, hurting feelings, but always for the children.
And
So
to
it's
make a
been
difference.
phenomenal. Absolutely, and he has done so well.
I think it's so, I think, interesting too that sometimes, you think of your parents as mom and dad, and then to learn this whole life that they've lived, not as mom and dad, but as a member of the community. I think that's it's really fascinating, and obviously his work has been so important and just amazing to see.
Yeah, at the funeral there was so many people who came because some of them are now in their 60s, and they did their best to come. I live streamed the event for those who couldn't, but just so many stories, and there, again, just the warmth that people that came out just to say, I loved your father, he touched me, he made me who I am today. It was just phenomenal.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
Before we jump into his books, I did hear one little thing. Your dad turned down the Beatles one time?
Yes.
I just want to hear that story really
so
quick.
that's in the book, because he never told me that. Apparently, he was part of, at college, the event committee, and he had several different groups. He said he had Ray Charles come on, a couple of other groups, and they brought to him this group from England, and they were called the Beatles. He's like, the Beatles? That name will never work, apparently. And lo and behold, he said, no, I don't want them performing at the school. And here they, now legends. So it's so funny. I never realized that till the book, but he has tons of Beatles paraphernalia in the house. So it's kind of this sense of, oh my God, the biggest mistake of my life. I must make up for it. So there's Beatles everywhere in the house. Photos, albums, you got a Beatles watch. So he's a fan
That is so
because
funny.
of that mistake.
That's
Awesome.
incredible.
He went on to be the biggest Beatles fan.
But you could kind of switch it up. You could be like, instead of, I turned down the Beatles, you could be like, I turned down the Beatles.
True.
You could get this cool. Right. Well, what a fun life. And so people are going to want to hear about this and hear his stories.
Yes.
How can they do that? When? Let us know about that.
Right. So he's got 2 books, and it was funny when I was helping him clean his basement a few years way before COVID. I said, you've got tons of great information around articles, things he did in the schools. I said, you need to write your book. Nah, I don't have that kind of time. I said, all right. COVID came, plenty of time to sit down and write your memoirs. So his first book was called The Black First. It was his life coming from Trinidad when he was 2 till he retired at age 60 in 2004. Tons of great stories about his upbringing. His mother was so influential in his life. And when we think about mothers and their sons, that really shapes are men in the world. And he's been such a very caring individual, and it came from his mother. And you see that throughout this particular book. The second book, called A Black First, The Blackness Continues, was his life from retirement, moving here to the Lewis area, and his work in a consulting capacity for many school districts, again, advocating for children and their rights to have equitable education, which is still a challenge in many school districts. So these are both at the Browse About Books. Also on Amazon, not to compete with the bookstore. We are doing a book signing on October 7th at Browsabouts from 11 to 1. I will be signing on his behalf and selling the book. Would love to have the entire Coastal Life area come out and support, say hello, share some words if you met my dad or interacted with my dad, even those who didn't like him. I want to hear about that too, because he loved making waves with people. But it's always in great fun, and we all learn, and opportunities around challenges and, being opposites.
That's right. Did you want to talk about that third book you have?
This is my book.
Ooh, let's just real quick give it a little shout out.
So how he became an author was because I am a 7-time author. I've been in anthologies. I have 2 of my own published books. And what I loved about his life is that he was always about educating and empowering others, especially those who were the underdog, underrepresented, hidden behind the scenes. And I similarly have that in my life as a person working in corporate America. I'm a corporate executive, African-American female, tons of challenges, probably not as bad as his, coming up in the 60s and 70s in the same vein. But I just recently published my own book anthology called Letters to My Corporate Sisters, stories of endurance, elevation, and encouragement, where myself and 10 other women share their story about their struggles in corporate. But to say, we have persevered, we have been able to overcome, now we want to step back and help the next set of leaders. Same as my dad was doing for other educators. These books will help many individuals who want to be a teacher, struggling, don't know what to do. So these are all really empowering books for those who know their passion, but just are having trouble seeing the success factor.
Wow. Well, you and your dad are so impressive. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for telling us about both those books. Just remind people really quick before we let you go where that book signing is and when.
Browse About Books down in Rehoboth Beach, Saturday, October the 7th from 11 to 1 p.m. Looking forward to seeing you.
Well, you can't lose. I mean, talking to you, getting the book signed is just going to be a blast.
I know. I'm so excited.
Dr. Carter, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. We can't wait, and we're looking forward to October 7th. And we're also looking forward to more Coast Life that's coming your way, so stay tuned. Leah, can you believe it's October? You really can't. Here we are. So hard to believe. But what's really cool about October is it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yes. And one of our favorite groups, some of our favorite people, are doing their part to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So today we have Marina and Amanda with Preston Auto Group with us. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you.
Of course. So there's a really fun and active way people can get involved with Preston while doing really good. Tell us about this golf tournament that's coming up.
Yeah, so on October 22nd, we are having our 3rd annual Frog Fairways Golf Tournament. So we raise money for breast cancer awareness organizations. The 2 that we are giving back to this year are Making Strides Against Breast Cancer and then Women Supporting Women out of Salisbury.
Love that. Those are both really great causes.
Well, and I mean, one thing that Preston Auto does often, and I mean, that's sort of the thing with the Frogs, is that you guys pair up and give back to the community a lot with different causes for different months. Why is it so important to you guys to do that?
Maria, want to take it?
Yeah, sure. So my mom had breast cancer. We had a close employee that was actually a family friend that died of breast cancer. And Amanda's mom also had breast cancer. So it's just a close family cause to us that we just support every October.
Oh my gosh. So these pink frogs and just, things like this must mean a lot to you both.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I mean, we support breast cancer in October, but then 10 of the months, we have different colored frogs that we give back to different organizations, everything from local tech schools to help promote technicians to Save the Bay, the Chesapeake Bay. Childhood Cancer Month is in August. And so we have all different kinds of things that we support. And I mean, the people who purchase vehicles from us live in the community. So this is our way to give back to the community and try to find something that one of our customers supports and something. So that's why we have such a variety of different organizations that we support.
Definitely. Preston stays busy. I mean, really, you guys stay busy giving back to the community. And what I love is it's not just, hey, look at our pink frogs. It's let's get active and let's do something together. So tell us a little bit about this golf tournament. It's a really active way that the community can work together and have fun. So what can they expect when they're there?
A lot of fun things. So obviously the golf, that's the fun part. We have putting contests. We have lunch provided too. So this year we have the culinary school out of Caroline County coming, and they are preparing all of our lunch for us. So we'll have a big hot lunch. We have what's the cannon thing?
Yeah, we call it the Flying Frogger, but it's a AR-15 cannon that launches golf balls. So
so you can pay like $15, and you get to shoot the gun, and that's like your first drive. So it goes like 300 some yards. So if you're not a good golfer, you keep one straight, you just shoot the gun. That's awesome. And you get a little advantage that way.
Wait, that is so cool.
Awesome.
That is so cool. Yes, shooting for your first swing. That's amazing.
That needs to be implemented for me all the time with golf.
We try to help. If you're not so good at golf, you can pay for mulligans, and all the money goes back to breast cancer organizations. So it's if you're not so good at golf, we have ways that we can help you do a little bit better and improve our score.
What a blast here. I guess we should let people know too, where is it? And just remind us of when as well.
Yeah, it's at Hogneck Golf Course in Easton, Maryland. And then it is October 22nd, and tee off is at 9.
Perfect. Yeah. And can people still sign up, or should they sign up the day of? How does that work?
So we actually have a wait list for teams, which is good. We have over 30 teams this year, but we are still looking for sponsorships. If anybody wants to sponsor a hole, we have, and then all different types of sponsorships, but we are over our goal, or what we raised last year, which was $46,000. So we are on pace to be higher than that this year. And so we'll have all the numbers kind of sorted out after the golf tournament, but so far we are on pace to raise more money this year, so it's exciting.
That is exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Should the golfers wear pink?
Absolutely. Everybody looks good at pink, right?
I mean, look at you two. Exactly. You're the kind of person I would bet would go get a pink golf skirt.
100%.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm doing it right now. I had to see that next year. We'll get you guys on a team because you guys can do the gun.
Wait, Terry's still looking for teams.
Ooh. Let's do this. This is so fun. Amazing. Well, thank you for everything you guys do and everything that Preston does. Because again, I mean, I just think it's so cool how you're really you're putting your money where your mouth is, if you don't mind. You're really getting the community together to help the community.
Yep. Great. Yes, exactly.
Awesome. So October 22nd, don't forget, mark your calendars down, get your pink, go do some shopping, and I'm sure you guys will be there.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. So we'll see you there. Great. All right, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Of course. Hey, we have a little bit more Coast Life heading your way, so before you shop for your pink golf skirts, stick around. We'll be right back.
Coast Life is brought to you by Preston Automotive Group.
All right, everybody, I know it's Monday. Boo. But that's why we want to put a smile on your face today. Maybe you had a long day at work. Maybe the kids were just being kids. Yep. So just sit down, relax with us for a quick minute, and check out our joke jar.
First joke, here we go. Okay, Paige. Why couldn't the sunflower ride its bike? It lost its petals. Okay. Why did Mickey Mouse get sent to his room? He was looking for Pluto.
So obviously Leah's jokes worked. Leah, what type of bagel flies? A plain bagel. Not a pumpernickel, not an everything. Dang it, okay. Why was it so breezy at the ball game? Because the stadium was packed with fans. You're a tough one to crack. Okay, one more. Let's see. It has to come out your nose. That's how you know you're filled. Okay, what did...
Dang it.
And it's hard to believe, but our joke jar, we tell so many jokes, it's starting to run out.
We actually are, yeah, we're burning through it.
But please send us your jokes. We want to hear from you. You can always let us know on our socials or by emailing us, team@coastlife.com. We want to laugh with you. And we're not done laughing yet. Nope. Some more Coast Life's on the way. Don't go anywhere.
This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by Coffee Rendezvous.
You're watching Coast Life, and we've been exploring some fall flavors with Coffee Rendezvous and Wanda Guyton, and so far it's been a delicious journey. But maybe, when you think those kind of fall coffee flavors, you tend to think pumpkin, maybe you think a little bit of like maple or apple, and maybe you're a little tired of those. You want to try a new fall flavor, and that's kind of what we got with this one, which I'm really excited to try. So what are we diving into today?
We're talking about the Sugar Plum Jubilee, which is a flambéed brandy over sweet plums, notes of apricot, and finished with a sugary sweet finish.
That sounds amazing.
It
and
is amazing.
Perfect for fall. Like just that nice balance of kind of strength, but also a delicate sweetness.
Exactly. Perfect as a cup of morning brew or an after dinner dessert.
Ooh, and I also think what's really fun about these flavored coffees, and especially for people who maybe are starting their holiday shopping a little bit early. I mean, it's honestly not too early to get started.
No, it's not.
These make great gifts for coffee lovers.
Exactly.
I mean,
They do.
Yeah, flavored coffees, locals helping locals. So why don't we give this one a try?
All right.
All right, one for you.
Yep.
And one for me.
And you're gonna try it black.
I think this time, yeah.
All right.
So that I get all the flavors, the full flavor experience.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers, Wanda. Okay, so you get that delicate sweetness, that like sweet finish, and the apricot is very subtle, but like it's there. This could be a contender for a great fall flavor. So maybe for people who are interested, where can they get a hold of these coffees?
Our coffees are sold on our website, of course, coffeerendezvous.com, on Amazon. Locally, if you want to go into stores, you can go to ShopRite, Shore Marketplace in Lewis.
Yep.
Not Too Shabby in Milford, right? Grace and Flavor Bakery in Silford, absolutely. Okay. Let's not forget them. And so I'm at pop-ups, different social events.
So lots of ways to find Wanda and all these delicious coffees, and you don't want to miss out on them. But we're going to continue taking the flavor tour with these coffee tips and tricks, and of course the flavor samples as we go throughout the autumn months. But don't go anywhere, because there's more Coast Life coming at you. Picture it. A crisp autumn morning, that cool weather that makes you just want to snuggle up with a cozy cup of tea. Well, you can find the perfect tea for whatever your mood is at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth, Delaware. And here with me is Shannon, or I guess rather I'm with you.
Yes.
And you guys have your autumn display. So we're getting into cozy weather. Everybody wants to enjoy a warm beverage.
Yes.
So tell me about some of the teas that you have for the season.
Okay, well, our big seller right now is anything pumpkin. So we are featuring a pumpkin chai latte, which is a black tea for us. So that's going to have a higher caffeine level, but of course that wonderful pumpkin flavor that everyone is looking for this time of the year. We have some other items here that are also pumpkin flavors. We have a whipped honey. We have candles that smell wonderful. Give that a smell.
Heavenly.
Yes, pumpkin pie sugar. So all things pumpkin in this area. We have lovely gift sets that actually feature the teas along with other autumn tea favorites. Like we have our cinnamon plum and our cider house blend. So we have lots of different pumpkin options here. Right behind you, we have some cider house blend, which is another real great favorite of our customer base as well as our employees. Cider house blend is an herbal blend, so you're going to get all the benefits of some really great healthy ingredients, no caffeine. We also have a cranberry apple honey as well as sugars to go with those as also.
Yes,
So.
and that pumpkin spice chai one, I know you guys have sent us our spice and tea, sponsors our Spill the Tea segment, as you know, so we always like to sample some of the teas there. We've tried that one, Paige and I, delicious, perfect for fall. Something else that we tried that you guys sent us that we really weren't sure what to expect with, so we were a little nervous, but we ended up loving it, was one of the mushroom teas.
We do have 2 different mushroom teas that we're featuring right now. One is our mocha mushroom, and it has the reishi mushroom, the maitake mushroom, and that is really great health benefits. So whether you're suffering from inflammation or even blood sugar, blood pressure, it actually really helps control those sort of challenges that you might have, as well as the mocha flavor, so it has a nice chocolatey type of taste to it. And then we have our chillax chaga chai, which does exactly that, helps you chillax.
Yeah.
So it's really good for anxiety. It has the chaga mushroom in there, but you hear a lot of information about the benefits of mushroom, whether it's hair care, skin care, body care. You see a lot of coffees out there. We also have tea options here.
One of the things I love about this store, the customer service is phenomenal. I mean, you guys really know your stuff, and you welcome everybody as soon as you walk through the door, but just like you had me do when you open those jars, you can really interact with a lot of the stuff that's in the store, and you normally tend to know, like, if it smells nice, it's going to taste good too. So I love that you kind of let customers interact.
It's important to us because you know, we have sealed packaging, of course, so we want to make sure that they can smell and feel the aromas of the products, as well as go over any key ingredients that we might want to feature as well.
Perfect. Well, you mentioned that we're going to be able to taste some of the tea.
We are.
So we're going to get ready to do just that.
Okay.
Sometimes we say, oh, our job is so hard, but today is not one of those days because we get to do a little taste testing, one of my favorite things at the Spice and Tea Exchange. So what's the tea that you've poured for us?
This is our Cider House blend that we showed earlier. So one of our colleagues, Kyle, brewed this up for you fine folks.
And it's beautiful. That's one of the things that I love about the loose leaf teas as opposed to the bag teas, is that it puts on a little show when you brew it. I mean, it really does. There's so much to see, and these clear infusers that you guys have. We do. You've got every accessory for tea lovers.
We do. This is a nice one. It's obviously brews a larger quantity. We have other smaller ones. Many different mug options, as you see here.
Yes, these are beautiful.
This is our dragon mugs. This is the dark brown. We have a rust color as well. Would you like to take a little taste?
Yes. Let's take a taste. Cheers, my friend.
Nice by itself, but we have
really nice.
We have honeys. Cranberry apple is a nice one that you could add to that. We also have apple crisp sugar that you could add to this, and we have cute little infusers of lots of different animals to choose from, and some messaging as well. But so we have, you know, all your tea needs, of course.
Yes, and I mean, as we kind of mentioned, holiday season is of course coming up, so if you have a tea lover in your life, this is a can't miss as far as shopping goes, because you said you've got mugs, you've got accessories, you've got obviously tons of teas, tons of spices, so even if there's a cook in your household, this is a great place to check out as well.
Yes, and lots of autumn type spices as well that we bring out this time of the year. Lots of gifts to offer. We have these particular gifts. We have a black tea set, we have a green tea and an herbal tea set with lots of different tea options, as well as sugars and infusers in them. We have like a recipe sort of gift set that has the recipe on the back of the card, as well as all your supplies in here. We are featuring a new item we just brought in that is a maple syrup. This particular one is a bourbon flavor, and it's just flying out the door. Anything bourbon, everyone loves. But for this one, we have like a little even recipe for old fashioned, but which leads me into our other recipes. We have several recipes available, and we can help our guests find the spices or teas to go with the recipes, so there's lots of options.
So as you can see, there's tons to explore at the Spice and Tea Exchange on Rehoboth Avenue in Rehoboth Beach, and you're gonna have to come back seasonally as well, because things do change pretty often around here.
Yes,
well, Shannon, thank you so much. I'm gonna polish this off. If you're an apple cider lover, this is the tea for you. So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna take a quick break, but Coast Life is gonna be right back.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by the Spice and Tea Exchange of Rehoboth.
Hey everybody, we told you we're going to be doing some Halloween DIY crafts today. And a little warning, not all of us are the craftiest.
I think in this instance, none of us are really the craftiest so
no.
far. We thought we would kind of get the ball rolling a little bit on this craft because it does take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And so far, none of us have really the gentle touch.
No. We have broken candy corn. I have super glued my fingers twice to this styrofoam ball.
And I just got toothpicks everywhere. So that's how far I've gotten.
Maya, what is going
It's
on?
supposed to be an M. It's an M for
Maya.
Maya. Right.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes.
All right, well, we'll show you what we're trying to do today. We're trying to get you to have some decor for your home. And the goal is these really cute, like, candy corn covered balls that you can put in a fancy dish or a cauldron.
Yeah, something easy that you can do with the kids.
With the kids. Yeah.
Be
Stuff
careful
that you
with the
have in your house.
toothpicks and the
Toothpicks
glue
can be a
though.
little tricky.
Yeah.
Glue can also be a little tricky, as we're discovering.
Right. So let's walk you through what we've done so far, and we're going to kind of tell you if this is a bust or not.
Okay.
We're learning as you learn. Yeah. So we have candy corn of all types of flavors. We've got the pumpkins, the regular, some chocolate. We didn't know if we should go glue route or toothpick route. So far, the toothpicks have won.
The toothpicks might be handy because with glue, you got to hold each individual corn in place until it dries and you can move on to the next one. So I thought with the toothpicks, maybe, you just stick like a little bit of the toothpick into the bottom of the candy corn, and then from there, you just go right into the globe, if you will. And so basically you just do that until the whole thing is covered in little candy corns that stick out, and then you have this sort of neat little centerpiece thing that you can play around with for any Halloween parties that you have, especially if you got little kids.
Yeah, that's
Could
true.
be a fun little accessory for their own Halloween party.
Not sure how safe it is, but I mean, you can give it a try and see how it goes.
All right, we're going to keep working on this. We're going to check back in just a minute. All right, well, my hair's disheveled. I'm sweating. This is stressing me out.
A little rough.
Yeah.
As you can see, we're really only partway through this. Like, this is a time commitment of a craft.
Yeah.
This did not turn out the way I think we all wanted.
No.
Let's show off our finished products.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm still going.
No, you're great. So the goal was, just use your imagination, have these everywhere. There were spiky balls, and you could stick them in a beautiful glass dish like this, and have a cute little decoration.
Yeah, I think maybe if you wanted to put fewer candy corns on the sphere and be able to have it look, maybe like paint the ball black first.
Yes.
Like,
That's a good
paint
idea.
it black, and that way it'd be harder to see any empty spaces.
Well, we had fun, and of course, we're always going to be here to try things for you. Gorgeous, Maya.
Thanks, Paige. I tried. And I had the biggest one. So
True. Yeah, you should sell this area to cover.
You should sell this.
We should have gone with even smaller ones.
So cute. We're going to be back tomorrow trying some more crafts.
Yes.
We'll let you know if those work or not so you don't waste your time. Yeah. For now, I'm going to eat this, throw this away, and call it a day. More COASTLIFE's coming up. Well, while we're sad to let you go in just a moment, this is the beginning to a really exciting week. We showed you some Halloween DIY. Don't forget, we are doing that every single day this week. So tomorrow, Leah, we have another craft DIY.
Yeah, and I think we're going to make some good use of the candy corn this week.
I'll try not to eat it all.
We are going to try and stay in that family a little bit, really put our DIY skills to the test. I'm not 100% sure about how all of these are going to turn out, but hey, we're here to kind of try these for you, and then you can judge your skill level based on our skill level, and if you're more like us, then you'll say, hey, you know what, maybe that's not the craft for me, or maybe you're a little bit better at arts and crafts than we are, and you're like, challenge accepted.
Yeah, well, if maybe you're like me, or maybe you're like Leah, who just kills it each time.
Not every time.
It's really unfair, but it's fine. Yes, and also, this is the burning question of the day. Candy corn, yuck or yum? Yum is the right answer.
I can never really decide, because isn't it just butterscotch? I'm pretty sure, like, I know it's the same as something else. I can't remember what it is. I think it's butterscotch. And I like butterscotch because I'm actually an 85-year-old woman.
Yes, that's true.
And I would love to offer butterscotch to everybody from my purse. But I think there is something about candy corn that I just like in little amounts. I don't eat too much of it.
You know the candy corn pumpkins, the thick ones? Oh, I love those. I go crazy for those. Yeah, candy corn. If you don't like candy corn and someone gifts it to you, send it to Coast TV News, yes, Coast Life, and we'll take care of it for you.
Yeah, exactly. We're always here for you.
Always.
Every day at 4 o'clock.
Right here.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we do have also more guests coming in.
Yeah.
The Milton Library is coming in. They've got some great programs to tell you about, so we're going to dive into that. And there's also more that we'll be diving into tomorrow, of course.
Hey, did you know the Milton Library has a 3D printer? I know. What are you guys printing at the library? So we're gonna get to that. We'll leave you with that. But we're gonna answer those questions.